Do you want to know how to arrange a pop song from scratch? Then keep watching this video. After producing instrumentals for almost 10 years and making all kinds of mistakes, I figured out every good mix starts with a good arrangement. Here's an example. This is a fully produced song. Or maybe tomorrow. And this is the MIDI outline of the arrangement. It all started with this. Do you make MIDI outlines of your songs? Tell me in the comments below. Hey, I'm Thales, pop music producer, and this is a sequel to our video series on how to make pop music. We've already covered how to write lyrics and melodies, and those videos will be in the cards for you. Now let's work in the arrangement. The example song for today's video is my latest release called Maybe Tomorrow, which was strongly influenced by reggae music. When I get to the arrangement stage, that means I already wrote the lyrics and melody for the song. It's time to pick the instruments that will play the harmonies, define which sections will have drums, bass, backing vocals, and which sections won't have some of these elements for contrast. In other words, what sections are going to have a busy or sparse arrangement. By the way, these decisions are made with the lyrics in mind. We'll use the instrumental to reinforce the feelings we're trying to convey with the lyrics. So for this song, I wanted verses and pre-choruses to get busier and busier with instruments playing short staccato notes, while the choruses are sparse and relaxed with long sustained notes. And the instruments I envisioned were drums, bass, one guitar, some kind of organ, a whistle sound to play the hook, and the rest is all singing. This is the main vocal melody, two different back vocal harmonies, and some ad-libs. That's all planned ahead with MIDI notes. And I don't worry about the timbre of the instruments or drums or effects for now. I just load some very basic sounds and start arranging. Here on the top I set up all the markers which show where each section starts. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and bridge. And the way I think of a song is like an emotional journey that I usually call an emotional roller coaster with ups and downs. So we have to build it up. We can't just deliver everything in the beginning or else people will have no reason to keep listening until the end. And the first step to achieving that is by making sure the drums play different patterns in different sections. Here's an example. In the first verse, my drums only play a quarter note pattern. Monday, 1 o'clock, and I'm still in bed. Not showing up for work today, no way. Then it gets more intense, and they start playing 8 notes with these extra snares, almost ghost snares. What's 5 more minutes? I'm already late. I napped until 5 or 6. Now I'm busy, just browsing Netflix. Then at the pre-chorus there's more energy building up. The pattern gets busier with notes twice as fast and strong swing. Today I'm taking a break while everyone else is moving fast, 'cause in my row I am the king. This change in the drum pattern causes a feeling of acceleration and builds up tension, and the chorus is the perfect moment to release that tension. So when we get to the chorus, we pretty much drop the drums. It goes back to the quarter note pattern, but skipping the ones, which is a common technique that I borrowed from reggae music. And since these two sections are so contrasting, it would be kind of weird to transition without a drum fill. So right before the chorus, there's this drum fill that anticipates the snare from beat 4, which is a trick that helps us slow down the rhythm. And it's followed by a rest. So the instrumental is clearly saying, slow down, stop now, here comes something important. And I'm not lazy, this is just my thing. Or maybe tomorrow. And throughout the whole song, I keep playing with these drum patterns, making them busier, then sparse again, matching the lyrics until we get to the last chorus, which is when we unleash it all. The last chorus is the big moment when I like to let things get out of control, with cymbals and all the elements playing together. Shower, maybe tomorrow. Now, drums are not the only instruments we can use to create contrast between sections of your songs. But before I tell you what I mean by that, can you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you're enjoying this video? Alright, just by looking at this overview of the song's arrangement, you can already see a few contrasting things. For instance, the whistle only plays in the choruses. The first verse starts with no back vocals, then the first harmony joins, and the second harmony joins in the pre-chorus, but they both leave the arrangement in the first chorus. It's not time to unleash the huge chorus yet, we're saving that for later. And the rhythm guitar is a constant element throughout the whole song. It's also the backbone of our harmony. However, it plays a different pattern in the first two choruses. It goes from the usual offbeat reggae guitar to long sustained notes. And even the organ only plays during the bridge, a section that's entirely different than the rest of the song, plus a few licks here and there. I'm feeling some time today, just resting in advance. Don't feel like getting up today, not even for the lunches. And that's how I make sure songs have a progression, something that can be developed into this climax that happens in the last chorus. In the arranging stage, I also like to decide the range of each instrument, which octaves, which notes will be played by each instrument, to avoid overlaps with the vocals and back vocals, since that can cause masking later when mixing. All these decisions are made before I even get to production stage, and getting this right from the beginning has been crucial for me. If I skip this step, I'm just making myself work twice as hard in the final stages. And what's really cool is that in Ableton Live I can visualize all the different MIDI instruments color-coded in a single piano roll. And this is gold for arranging. I can now make sure none of these instruments play overlapping notes, which would hurt the separation of instruments. I can make sure two instruments won't play notes that are too close and dissonant at the same time unless done purposely. So every instrument stays in their range and I can plan all their movements without losing sight of the bigger picture. From the bottom to the top, in green you're looking at the bass. In brown, that's the guitar playing a wide range of notes, but with a gap in the middle where the vocals and back vocals sit perfectly. The orange notes are the main vocals, and the pink and light green notes are the back vocal harmonies. I can't stress enough how important this is. Once I started doing this piano roll with multiple instruments, mixing became much easier. Even to create licks, movements, passing notes, and placing ear candy. Look at how I had this gap in the melody in bar 27. It was the perfect moment to add a bassline lick going up in pitch. This wasn't here before, but once you're able to visualize your arrangement like this, adding this kind of movement becomes very intuitive. Today I'm taking a break, while everyone else is moving fast. Now this video is focused on the instrumental part of the song, but what's a pop song without vocals? So I'm gonna show you the vocal arrangement real quick, and just a reminder, as always, different arrangers will do this differently, and what I've been showing you is not a set of rules you must follow, but it's the most efficient way I've found to arrange pop music. I like to separate my vocals by section so I can easily process them individually. So one track for verse, another for pre-chorus, chorus, and bridge. Below that, you're looking at dozens of tracks for ad-libs. Each phrase gets its own track because I'm using entirely different effects on each one. Like this robot in the first verse that says, "It's too early, man." I got the lifestyle of a bad head. What's 5 more minutes? And the harmony back vocals are down here. 6 tracks. During the pre-chorus, they're panned left and right. Today I'm taking a break, while everyone else is moving fast. But during the verse, they're panned center, along with the main vocal, almost like the doubling techniques from my last video. Tomorrow I'll do better, get up early. Really?
Think about my dreams and goals. I'll shave my beard, go to the gym, get my life together, be in control.
If you're interested in learning how to thicken vocals with doubling, you gotta watch my last video. I show you all the vocal doubling tricks and a free doubler plugin. I'll make it appear on your screen in a second. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos. Sound good? Thanks for hanging out. I'm Thales, and here's the video I told you about.